dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it, you already know. Like two tortas in a Cadillac with some bad habits. Bye, bye, bye. Hey, in a menudo style of direct fashion, we're going to get straight to it. But before we do, let's hit that like and subscribe button. Put your notification bells on all, so that way you're directed in the direction of the dope content that I'm kicking. I appreciate all the support. Now on we go. You see the thumbnail. So what's it all about? Well, it's actually about what a viewer asked me, right? See, I've been asked a lot of different questions while I've been doing this YouTube content. And some questions stand out a little bit more than others. And this question that this cat asked me, this Asian cat, man, respects to my Asian brothers, was real. He said, I know you've done time. He also did a fair amount of time. And he wanted to know, in my perspective, from my angle, who have the most lifers? Who are the people doing the most time while incarcerated? And to be honest and truthful with you, I'm going to give you a direct answer, right? So the fact is, the majority of gente you're going to find incarcerated in the United States are going to be blacks. Period. It's just what it is, man. Doesn't matter what state you go to, the blacks have sheer numbers. Okay, when it comes to the state of California, you're going to see a lot more Chicanos or Mexicanos incarcerated. That's just the way it is. So you're going to see a lot more of the greater number doing a lot more of the time. But if there's one ethnicity, if there's one group that I say goes in there and pretty much is usually stretched out, has the duration, they're sitting down, it's all day long, and that's going to be the Asians. The Asians, for some reason or another, you're not going to find many of them in state prison. That's because a lot of them catch federal cases. A lot of them go straight to the feds because they're caught with assault rifles. They're caught with things they're not supposed to have, right? But they get caught with that. But there's a lot of Asians that are incarcerated for murders that are sitting down for the duration all day long, day and night, night and day, like an I'll Be Sure song. And that's for sure. In my perspective, what I've seen doing time, it seemed like every time you ran into an Asian who run with the others, of course, the Usos, police, and of course the Asians, they always have a long time, man. They're always the ones on the yard stretched out, doing all day, 25 years plus, going aboard, back and forth, getting shot down. That's just the way it is. Now, there are a lot of different ethnic groups with lifers. It just depends on where you're at, what yard they put you on. There's always going to be an extensive amount of lifers on a 4 or even a 3 yard. That's just the way it is. These guys, most of them have no hope. They're living in desolation. It is what it is. But thank God for a lot of change of laws. The government's been doing what they does because at the end of the day, a lot of these lifers have been getting released. They've been getting dates. They've been getting a little bit of taste of a freedom. And that's a great thing. You never want to see a man sit down forever. I understand if you take a life, then you give a life. That's the reason why people catch life sentences. But I've seen people get life sentences for stealing a payday candy bar. 3 strikes and they're out. The 3 strikes law definitely sat a lot of individuals down who should have got get backs. And just now, they're recently starting to get some get backs. They're starting to get a second look. They're starting to go to board and getting a little bit of love. Prior to that, they weren't getting love, man. They were just there. And that was it. Now, when you have a bunch of lifers, that breeds a bunch of chaos in prison. When you got guys that are facing all day long or not looking at any fucking date anytime soon, what do you think is going to happen? Another body is not going to hurt the resume. If in fact, it's going to elevate that resume. It's going to elevate your status within prison. It's going to instill fear in the next man. I know one thing about me, being incarcerated and doing time. I never wanted to be celled up with lifers. And this was the reason why. First and foremost, man, most lifers are very respectful. Okay, most lifers are the ones that you do want to be around on the yard. They're going to give you klecha, game. They know the ins and outs. They have the juice. They got the good, great paying jobs. They know what time it is on that yard. They've been there for a minute. But 9 times out of 10, being celled up with one ain't going to work out with you. Especially if you're short timing or you're not doing anything 10 years plus. Because what can you talk about? You can't talk about the streets. You can't talk about things that these guys don't know about. So the conversation has to be civil yet minimal. It's hard to do your time like that without having a celly, man, where you could talk about what we're going to do when we get out. Because everybody pillow talks. Everybody makes plans. There's not a vato right here that hasn't been locked up, that hasn't sat there with the celly and said, hey, homie, we're going to shoot me your directa, homie. When we get out, we're going to hook up and everything. And more than likely, you're not going to even write him back or hook up with him. You're going to hook up with his old lady, or his old lady's going to hook up with you. Either way, that's usually how it goes down. But there's a lot of people that make big plans, you know, decide that they're going to do this and they're going to do that. And at the end of the day, none of that shit ever comes to fruition. It doesn't happen. So anyways, I never like to be locked up with lifers, because I'm going to tell you about a situation that happened with me. Real talk. I took an elbow, right? So there was a couple Asian cats, man. And I had never, ever, to the depth of me, ever got into with any Asians. I've always had love and respect for them, man. Always did time with them. It was always cool. You know, in my city, we didn't beef with the Asians too much. At one point, we did beef with one little Asian gang, the True Blues. But that didn't last a long time, man. They kind of like all got locked up for murder, and that was that. You know, there wasn't very many of them anyways in the beginning. But I never had hand-to-hand combat. There was never any beef like that with Asians. So it was always love. So anyways, I'm sitting down in a county jail, right? And I'm facing a prison term. I already know what it is. But at the same time, it's not an extensive prison term. I'm not going to do a long time. You know, I'm just kicking back. I'm going with the motions. And, you know, I'm fresh off the streets. So I had a Harley. I had an old lady. I was doing things when I was on the streets. Badass car on rims. I thought I was winning, right? Actually, I was for what I was doing. But anyway, so I'm sitting down in the county jail. There's a couple Asian cats. And I remember we start chopping it up. And at first, man, they took a liking to me, you know, because I was from up north. There was no other Norteños in this county jail. Nothing but Southerners, but we were on segregated tiers. They had the Southerners on the top tier. I, of course, was with the others and the blacks on the bottom tier. They had the whites and the Southerners on the top tier. That's just the way that it was. Every once in a while, the best time to catch someone slipping was during laundry. One time they popped the laundry doors, and that's a story for another day. I'll tell you about that. But this particular day, I'm kicking back. And I had been chopping it up with these two Asian cats, and one of them was from Fresno, and the other one was from Minneapolis, Minnesota, right? He was from MOD. So we're chopping game and kicking back, and we're on our Cali shit, on our Minneapolis shit. And we start talking about sentences and doing time. And that's one thing you don't want to do when you're around a lifer, is talking about doing a little bit of time. So I start telling them, yeah, I'm short timing. I'm trying to get back to the bitch that I was with, man. I'm trying to get back to my car and to my job and things of that nature. You know, I'm going to go do a turnaround, a quick violation, go into prison, do the little term and shoot on back out. So I'm hoping that none of my shit gets stolen or sold while I'm fucking in there. And one of the Asian cats gets real quiet. And you can see he's thinking. He's starting to marinate. He's starting to stew, homie. And if you don't notice, one thing about prison or jail or anytime you're incarcerated, you have to stay aware. I notice that he notices that I notice something's going on with them. So I get a little quiet and I start to think to myself, and I reflect back to my old teachings and the ways I was brought up. And I said, damn, Holmes, you know, I think I got this guy in his feelings by talking about doing a little bit of time when he's facing life without the possibility. He had caught two bodies. His homeboy was his crime partner, right? So I'm sitting there, you know, thinking about, damn, I just fucked up. And I was absolutely right. So we go to chow. We go from day room back into our cells. Boom. What they do is they bring us out. They bring our fucking chow to us. It was a different type of fucking county jail, right? And then the top tier will come out there, get their chow. It is what it is. So anyways, as we're out, I sit, of course, with the two Asian cats and a brother, man. And the brother's looking at me. The brother was from Oakland, I remember. And he had a lot of love for me because I was from California. So he's looking at me. I'm looking at him. He's trying to warn me like, hey, something's cracking, right? But I'm not paying attention. You know, I'm saying, hey, brother, you gonna eat that salad? You know, because motherfuckers are starving in county jail. Salad and butter all day, every day, man. You know what I mean? I see motherfuckers eat whole scoops of butter. Facts. So anyways, I'm looking at a salad. He's looking at me. The Asian's looking at him. The other Asian's looking at me too. He wants to stab me. So as we get up to, you know, give our trays to we're going to dump our trays in the trash and then, of course, give them to the fucking people. They stack them. And as I get up, man, I just, boom, black out, right? These two Asian cats are on me. Boom, 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 boom. I'm thinking, oh shit, what did I do? What did I do? I'm coming to, right? And I'm getting trays up beside the head and I'm getting fucked off, right? And I'm fighting back and the brother right there slinging him with the Asian cat. Boom, boom, boom. He's back in my play, right? So I'm kind of like, what's going on here? You know, we were all just sitting down eating fucking salad together. The salad was bomb. What the fuck is the business? The lechuga was good, or was it? You know? Anyways, we get fucking snatched up. The two Asian cats go to the hole. They snatch me up, take me to the infirmary. I'm leaking from my side of my head. The brother man goes to the hole. And then, of course, they place me in segregation. And so as I'm sitting in this hole, and it's county jail, mind you, so it's not like prison where it's a big hoyo. It's small. So I'm sitting in the county jail, and I'm hollering down to the brother like, hey, are you good? His name was J-Rock. I said, J-Rock. I said, J-Rock, right? Are you good? He was like, yeah, bro. Hey, I'm going to slide you something. I said, all right. So I make me a quick linea, something you do, so you can fish immediately. And he shoots me down a huila. And in this huila, he said, damn, bro, the Asians took it as disrespect because you said you were doing a little bit of time. I said, damn, bro, I had a bad feeling. I said, they should have just got at your boy. He says, yeah, them Asians are different, bro. They don't talk much. They just fly. He goes, I could tell when you said like, oh yeah, I can't wait to get back, man. Shit, I feel sorry for motherfuckers doing all day. They kind of just looked at you, right? And I was like, damn, I got love for the Asians, man. You know what I mean? What it is, man. And that was that. I remember I got at one of the Asian cats. So they have us in the hole. They released the black dude, man. He said I wasn't involved. They released him. I'm sitting in the hole. I'm the victim, bro. I got victimized. They still got me in there. They come to my cell. Hey, what happened? Don't know. Can't call it like an alcoholic, right? So I hollered down to one of the Asian cats. He's going to medical. And I'm like, hey, bro, my bad, homie. No disrespect. And he goes, hey, it is what it is. If you want your run backs, get your run backs when we get back to the main line, But other than that, my friend felt disrespected. I'm sorry, man. That's just, I got to ride with my peoples. I understand that, right? Quietly as it's kept, they fucked me up. Of course, they end up getting moved to a different pod. I got moved back to the same pod, and that was that. So now, this is what I have to say about the Asian group. Having done so much time and having so much respect for them. 9 times out of 10, if you hit a yard, they are going to be the ones doing a whole lot of time. I don't know if it's just the way their people are. They're very quiet, very humbled. Don't talk much, man, but hold it down for their crown. There is no question about it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. A lot of people have asked me, man, what's up with the Asians? Are they about the business? With the serious facts. Stamp that. Seriously, Asians are with the business, man. You can't take nothing from them. For them having minimal numbers, a smart move, man, was to hook up with the Pacific Islanders and become others. That was one of the greatest things they all done because that gave them numbers and power, man. The police, the Usos, they're very well respected in prison, and you don't fuck with their flavor, man. And I'm going to tell you a story later on this week, how they had to slide me a little piece and I had to get with it. But yeah, the Asians are going to be more the lifers. Now, I've had many different, seen many different ethnicities that were lifers. It seems like there's always a lot of white boys doing a lot of time too. They get caught up, man. They get snatched up with labs, and they're always trying to make coffee, brother, if you know what I mean, right? And not the kind that Folgers makes. And they get stretched out. But like I said, you're not going to see a lot of Asians in state prison. Their numbers are in the feds. They hold it down in the feds, man. And they're with the business and the program. There isn't very many of them anywhere, I guess, other than probably the feds. But in the state, you're not going to see a lot of numbers. But I say the ones that I have ran into were with the activities, with the business. Now, as far as other lifers, man, I'm going to tell you a story about 2 lifers that just gave up. They were cellies, and they made a pact, right? So I'm in Corcoran, and it's a 4-yard, man. And I'm not going to lie, man, this place right here was hectic at this time. There was removal after removal, lockdown after lockdown, cracking. It seemed like every time you hit the yard, man, somebody was getting misplaced, right? Somebody was getting smashed. The Sureños were going off. The Northerners were handling their business. Of course, even the brothers, man, were smashing each other. It was all out chaos and war, but everybody within their own, everybody was cleaning up their basura or their garbage. That's just pretty much how prison is. You will have war with one ethnicity against another group, or one faction against another faction, just like they had at Pelican Bay the other day, north and south. But 9 times out of 10, man, it's going to be within your own. It's going to be cleanup time, right? There's never downtime in prison. When people say, oh, it was downtime, homie, we're just kicking it. There's never downtime. There's always something cracking. There's always business being conducted. There's always moves being made. There's always motherfucking CEOs getting fucked in the bathroom. There's always things happening, right? Now they got the tablets, so they'll get their tabletization on, right? There's just things happening. That's how prison is. Facts. So guard, what's up. So anyways, these 2 dudes were lifers, viejitos, old white guys, right? One of them, we we had under a close watch. We thought he might be affiliated with the brand. For those of you that know who the brand is or what they are, we thought one of them, he had close affiliation. He kind of fucked with some of the guys that were in the hierarchy of the white boys at the time, the Woods and the Skins. So we kept a close eye on him. He was not necessarily a target, but to be watched very closely. If he made the wrong move and any indication that he was brand, of course, at the time, the Norteños did not function on yards with enmeros or brand members, so it would have been an automatic rush, right? Automatic weaponry move. Get the fuck up off the yard. That's how it would be. And they would do the same thing. They were always trying to identify Northern Structure or identify NF. That's just how they played. So anyways, we're watching this guy close. So my cell was 2 cells down from this cat, where I could kind of see him, his comings and goings, right? Both of him and his cellie were lifers. 2 old school white dudes. One fucking mustache for days, eh? He looked like this whip was dropped over here. He looked like the vato from the UFC. The one that was on the Mayans? He looked like him, only white. So I remember these 2 guys stuck together like peanut butter and jelly, homie. Always together, never separated. These vatos functioned together. Buddy system, buddies. And I thought, I knew they were lifers. I pretty much knew one of them was from the San Fernando Valley. The other one was from Sacramento. He was a Sacramaniac. So I already knew kind of what time it was with them. Watch out for these guys. They're very dangerous. They're lifers. You have to be aware when you're on your yard, especially a 4-yard or a 3-yard of lifers. They're the first ones that'll pick up weapons. They're the first ones that'll handle their business. Like I said in the beginning of this spiel, they don't care about another body. Add it to the fucking resume, homie. It's nothing. So these are the cats you got to watch. You got to watch everyone, but I'm saying particular, your eye should be right there, So anyways, that day I remember they came out of the cell and there was a CO. There's a CO. He was kind of an asshole, man. He always worked the tower, never came out of the tower. I remember. And always has something to say, man, when the porters would be out there mopping or people would be doing their thing. Oh, hey, make sure you put the mop bucket away. Yeah, bitch, where else are you I'm going to take it in my cell or what? You know what I mean? But he was one of them guys. He liked to pick on people. He liked to punish people for being locked up. He didn't see the time as the punishment. He wanted to put his 2 cents in. Well, they were going to put 2 pedazos in him. So anyways, this guy, I guess, had disrespected the vato with the big old Rocha, right? So they decided that if for no other reason, they're lifers, they were going to go out doing the buddy system. So this particular day, this guy was not working the tower, and it was very rare he worked the floor. And every time he worked the floor, mums, shh. You hear that? You hear nada. That's what I hear, nada, unless you have some kid crying in the back. And all I can say is she probably needs her diaper changed. But trip out on this. So the vato, he actually worked the floor, and these vatos were waiting, these lifers. I seen the whole movie that go downtown Julie Brown, right? As soon as they came out, these old men, they were older guys. They took off at a dead run, homes, down the tier. We were kind of close to the stairs. So as they ran, hit the tier, one of them down there slid on his back down the steps. The other one went that way, right? And they got to Texas Chainsaw Massacring this guy. Gaga. Lifers, homes. Lifer. People were woo screaming out there. Damn, them white boys is getting off, right? Dry snitching like a motherfucker. Motherfuckers was yelling. That cop got poked. He didn't die, man, but he got hit a lot of times, right? Disrespect. One thing you can't do in prison is disrespect people, no matter how old, how they look, what they're doing, man. And everyone will get off. Everyone and anyone. That's just the law of the land. It's what it is. So anyways, they ended up getting removed. They made a pact, man, I guess, when they seen that dude that was going to get off on them ever since that disrespect. And that's usually how it is, man. You're going to back your celly or back your gente up, and it is what it is. One jump, all jump. The white boys got put on lockdown. The cops was not playing them games. Southerners got put on lockdown for a little while till the cops decided that they weren't rocking with them, and that was that. Now, if you notice all these prison murders, right? A lot of these hits that happen, I don't know if you read up on it on California prison gang news or anything like that. I like to peep it out once in a while, see what's going on. I don't necessarily do too many spills on people that get hit. I see because it's common. It happens all the time. And usually if it's someone of high notoriety, I won't do nothing on it because, just based on, that's some serious business. If someone of a higher status or from a group organization gets hit, it's some serious business. I try not to fucking focus on that. But I will say this, if you ever looked at that and you ever read, where they're from and what their controlling cases were, you'll notice that almost every single time, most of them, 99% of them are lifers. You don't fuck with lifers, man. Lifers doing all day will end you, especially if they have no get backs or no date. They will end your career, period. That's what it is. Anyways, getting back to who does the most time, who usually has the most vicious crimes. Well, everybody does, man. That's part of prison life, you know. Crime is not, you know, distinctly towards one ethnicity. You're not going to see, oh, only the white boys steal cars and only the blacks fucking shoot people and only the Mexicans stab people. I mean, the Mexicans do stab people. But you're going to see a little bit of everything. But in my experience, man, I've noticed that the Asians have the most lifers and are usually doing the most time. And Vatos are different. They just move different, I guess. With that being said, hope that you move smooth with a purpose, get everything that you want coming. And remember, at the end of the day, it's all about the strive to struggle and the struggle to strive. I appreciate all the support I've been getting, man. Make sure you support all the Raza channels, North, South, however you want to call it, whatever label you want to put on it, man. Go support everyone. You know, shout outs to Dubs, man. Doing his thing, man. Continue to support that Vato, man. That's the homie right there. Food and Felons, I see he did his thing, man. He sat down with Corrupt, did it like he said he was going to do it, man. That's a real one, too. Make sure you support him, man. Big Rojo, Flaco, go support them. You know, I got no hatred or no ill will towards anybody, man. Even go support EBK family. If you want to make a video about it, make a video about it. I don't care, man. At the end of the day, it's nothing but love and respect for everybody that's trooping and doing their things, man. Shout out to Renegade Media, man. Hey, they keep giving me a hard time. Hey, he passed you up, Gunner. He passed you up. Good, homie. That's what I want. The achievement of one is based on one's actions. Do your thing, man. Ain't no fucking jealousy or no hatred here, man. It's nothing but love, homie. It's nothing but respect, and it's going to be like that. Bang, bang, thumbs up or thumbs down. You know, Gunner gang, gang. I'm going to continue to do what I does with the head like a crown. Bam, westward bound. West, west, bang, bang.